Hey Aquarius, this is Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy Mamelin, Psychic Medium. Welcome to an April, May, June 2026 single psychic prediction. Today, I'm going to ask Spirit what energy is coming towards you or in your life or going on around you over the next coming months. I do have some charms and initials, so I'll be using those, lots of loving messages and any guidance that Spirit has for you. Please use this reading to help you to manifest a love that you are worthy and deserving of, or to confirm a love that's come into your life recently. Let's call in our spirit guides and our angels and ask them to guide us now. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to anybody that's new to my channel. Spirit, I call upon you for loving messages. Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for my Aquarius. What is it that you have for us today? What is it that you need us to know? What is it that you want us to hear? I'm listening for you now. I have a letter. Okay, so communication, heartfelt expression. Somebody has heartfelt feelings, right? Somebody reaching out to you, explaining, I don't know, I almost felt like I'm explaining myself, you know, like if they delayed something or they dropped the ball or you haven't heard from them. Maybe they said they were going to call and they didn't. Maybe a couple days have gone by and you're kind of like, you know, are you ghosting me? There was a little bit of a hearing from someone. I'm going to say hearing from someone on your mind, you know, for some of you. And a little bit of a explanation, whether it's an apology, or I've been busy, or I've been thinking about you, something like that. Spirit, please share with me. I have a compass. I love compasses. Direction, successfully navigating love. So that inner compass in all of us who tells us we're going the right way or the wrong way. I'm definitely going to go with this inner compass. You know, you hear their voice and your inner compass just says one yay or nay. Okay. And maybe that's what you need. I need to hear this person's voice. I need their explanation. I need to hear if I feel like it's sincere. I need to hear if it feels like they're, you know, playing mind games with me. So I am trusting my own inner voice and I'm going to listen. Good. I have a key, unlocking a path and finding a solution. They just said, where do we go from here? So I'm not tagging this as a no contact, like reconciliation, but I am tagging it as a feeling of we're having a hard time getting it going, something like that. And we're just kind of, I don't know, maybe we've been going back and forth for a little while. Where do we go from here? Like, are you in or are you out? You know, do you want to see me again or don't you? Do you want to continue? Like, maybe we've spent some time together, but we're not official, you know, and there's a little bit of a delay happening. So it's like, is this person pushing me off? Is this person just not into me? So I need to know, Spirit. I want to know. I don't want to waste my time. All right. I've got a star. I've got a page of pentacles. I have a hermit. And I have a temperance. I do feel like I'm happy to hear from this person. I will say that. I was hoping you would call. I want to hear from them again. I probably have been just kind of quieting my mind and waiting patiently. Not that you're waiting around for this person, but just kind of curious as to what's going on. I'm not going to chase them, Spirit's saying. So if they don't call, then you're going to move on. But there's a little bit of I'm patiently waiting, and I'm just kind of giving them a chance to think, and I'm giving them a chance to see what they want, see what their feelings are. I'm not going to beg them. I have a 4 of Swords. I have an 8 of Cups. I have a 6 of Cups. And I have a Knight of Cups. So I definitely am feeling this feeling of, are they walking away from a good thing? Because there is a sense of the connection felt real. There were romantic feelings. There are romantic feelings. But is this person backing off? Spirit's saying they're not backing off. They're starting to fall for you with that Knight of Cups. So there's a little bit of a, they're pulling back because they don't want to, they want to make sure their feelings. That's interesting. So you haven't been hearing from them because they're kind of like trying to cool it, if that makes sense. They are trying to see what their feelings are. They're trying to see, where do we go from here? So did they take, a couple of days to just see if they missed you a little bit, or to see if when they hear your voice again, they're as excited to hear your voice, or to see you again, something like that. So they could be starting to fall for you and they're backing off. And I know that doesn't make sense, but sometimes that's what people do because they've got to kind of process it. They want to make sure that it's not just because we're hot and heavy and it's very physical and it's very intimate, and they're mixing up the intimacy with what their feelings are. So there could be something going on with that. But I do feel like I want to know more where I stand with this person. I'm attracted. You're attracting the right person at the right time. So they just said you both feel the same. Okay, so maybe you're both going through this kind of anxiousness. Maybe you're both struggling with, I'm very attracted to you, and I think that there's a lot here, but it's not to the point where we know who we are to each other. We haven't defined it. We haven't said we're exclusive, something like that. But we're definitely attracted to each other. Charisma, love flows to you, and you radiate charisma and charm. Beautiful. And a surprise, a romantic surprise is on the horizon. I do feel like this person comes back with this message that, hey, what are you doing? Not much. I haven't heard from you for a few days or a week. I thought you were gone forever. Oh, I've been really busy with work. Their excuses aren't the reason. Okay. The reason is they're backing off emotionally because they're trying to feel their feelings. That if I'm not with you for a week, if I don't see you for a week, do I miss you? And it's like a self-test. Okay. That they are testing themselves. They're trying to see, what are my feelings, and not be confused, Spirit just said, with that they want to be with you physically every moment of every day. So they're trying to make sure these feelings are real. And I do feel that. Spirit, can I have some initials, first initials, last initials? What do you have? I have the letter I have an S, I have a W, I have a D, another I have an L, I have an F, a K, F, another S, C, L, I have an N, R, M, and an A. And let's get these other letters. These are first letter, second letter of either a first name or a last name. Okay, so it could be on either side. Spirit, please share with me. What do we have? I have an HE. A-L, P-A-T-Y, K-E-E-R. I have an R-O. I have an L-A, R-Y, and I have a K-I. So some of you, those could definitely be more, even more accurate. Spirit, tell me anything about this person that maybe I'm not aware of or I should look for. Grew up in a better than average household. Okay, so maybe their parents were well off. They had everything they needed. At least 1/3 of their body is covered in tattoos. So they could have some tattoos. They could have a lot of tattoos for somebody. I have enjoys hiking and camping. So I can feel the independence. I can kind of feel the sense of I have a lot of independence. It's really hard for me to give up my independence. Doesn't mean they don't want to be with you. Doesn't mean they don't like you. It could be I'm just kind of used to doing my own thing. And that's hard for people. Already knows who you are. Somebody on your mind. Has known you for a few years, 5 years, they're saying, maybe up to 5 years. I have will be the one to ask you out. So yeah, it's a sense of I'm waiting for them to make the next move. Okay. So will they make the next move? Has lighter skin, wears glasses, enjoys science and math. Okay. So those could be the stronger field, I guess. They will be the one to initiate contact. So yeah, it's a sense of reaching out to you after some kind of a delay and you wondering if they dropped off the face of the earth. Am I being ghosted by this person? Like what happened? So, but I'm not going to call them. They got to call me. So a little bit of a standoff. Their birth year is an even number. Wears a watch, maybe a smart watch. Communicating their feelings comes easy. And has dreams about you. Sometimes that space helps. I have brown hair at the bottom of my deck. Okay, sometimes that space allows us to see things more clearly, they're saying. And I think it's a self-test. I do. I feel like I've got to kind of test myself. Like, do I miss talking to this person? Do I miss our chatter or banter? You know, I just want to see if there's more there. So it's some kind of weird self-test. And then they're going to say, oh, I've just been really busy. That's not what happened. They're trying to feel their feelings. They needed the space to feel their feelings. They're not going to say it that way. I have a 7 of Wands. I have a 5 of Pentacles. I have an 8 of Wands. I have a Magician. I feel like they are fighting their feelings, and it's this like inner battle that they're going back and forth. Like, can I give up my independence? Can I give up my single identity to be in a relationship with somebody? Am I ready for that? Do I really want that? Some people, they're out there on the online dating apps and that's what they're searching for. But then when it happens and somebody's in front of them, all of a sudden it's the hugest decision of their life. You know, so maybe you should have thought about that before you got onto a dating app, you know. It's almost like they want to try it out or put their feelers out and see what's out there. And if something great is out there, okay. But if not, but the good news is that 8 of Wands is a shift in their energy. And the Magician is now coming into me as like, there's a lot of different things that are telling them that this is good. There's a lot of things that they're saying interactions with you. Whether it's they see a lot of different qualities in you, they see a lot of things they like about you. But I feel like their best parts, there's a part of me that says when they're with you, some of their best parts of themselves come forward. And maybe some of the things that they love about themselves comes forward with them. That maybe they have a great sense of humor, but when they're with you, you appreciate it, and they realize that they have a great sense of humor. They make you laugh, and that makes them feel good about themselves, something like that. So this feels like if I make up my mind and I'm ready to do this, it can take off as a rocket ship. That's where do we go from here? And you say, well, it's up to you. I've been kind of waiting patiently for you to kind of, make the next move. So there is this kind of, I thought it was over, like I thought you were backing off. I thought you weren't interested. And they say, no, I'm interested. I've just been busy. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. That doesn't feel right. So put it into I know you were testing this. I know you were testing me to see if I was going to chase you, or I know you were testing how your feelings were going. Let's see if they'll give me some clues with our charms. So let me see if anything jumps out at you guys for the charm. Sometimes they really connect to you. Let's see what these signs are. What is this? A Scorpio. I have a Scorpio. I think this is another Scorpio. Okay. So Scorpios. What are these? These are other signs. Let's get these first. This looks like a Cancer. And this is a intelligent Gemini. Okay. I love that. Okay, a T. I have soon. Hearing from this person soon. I love the word soon. That always feels very hopeful to me. I have a baby cup. I don't think there's a baby involved, but it felt like they're acting like a baby, that it's a stalemate. Maybe you feel like they're playing a game with you and you think that they're expecting you to chase them and you're not. So maybe you're putting them in the category of like, oh, grow up and pick up the phone, already, So this is coming into me as tippy toes, the ballerina shoes, but it was more of I will not walk on tippy toes for you. I will not walk on broken eggshells for you. I will not, pitter pander around you and, wait patiently. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to dance around you. I've got this, I've got a hat. It's like a flower garden hat. That felt like I have better things to do. Believe it or not. It felt like I got gardening to do. I'm going to go outside and take care of my yard. Like I got my own life. I got my own stuff. Yeah, you're waiting for them to call, but not under this umbrella of I'm going to jump when you call. So they're going to start to see that they've got to put some energy and muscle grease into this connection. And if they have taken the time to decide and they come back with, I do want, where do we go from here? I do feel like they hear it in your tone of voice when, you haven't heard from them for a little while, and they hear disappointment in your voice, and they're in the doghouse, so to speak. And I feel like they don't like that. They go, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done this. So I don't really feel it's a game. I feel like it's just something they do, if that makes sense. It's just like they're not really thinking about it. I feel like just days had passed and that you haven't heard from them. And then when they do call, you're kind of disappointed. I haven't heard from you for a while. And it's not like they owe you anything. They don't owe you anything. But if they want to be in your life, they've got to show some effort. They've got to show consistency. They got to show interest. They've got to show that they want to get to know you more and more. It doesn't mean you have to talk on the phone 15 hours a day or see each other every day. But not knowing whether you're dead or alive isn't a good thing either, you know? So, but they did go off on their little own, and then they're coming back and they're kind of saying, you know, I needed to see what I was feeling. So I miss your perfume. I like your perfume. Missed your smell, missed your smile, missed your laugh, missed your voice. So that feels like it's coming in. So, you know, it feels like a very slow false start, and it's disappointing. And then it kind of turns around. Okay. I think that happens to a lot of people. There's not a lot of people that are like, boom, they meet, they never ever disconnect, they never go through something. I always feel like that beginning is always kind of a little bit of a rocky road. It's just a little pull and push, and I think that's what we're going through. Let's see when. Let's see what is going on with some timing. Spirit, what do you have for timing around this connection? What is going on with you guys in the spring? So things will pick up. March, maybe they want to get together for St. Patrick's Day. Hey, what are you doing? You want to go out? You know, can I buy you dinner? Let's go out. I have January. Maybe this has been going on for a couple of months. Maybe we've been kind of trying to get this off the ground for a few months, and some of you may be feeling frustrated. I have August, could be a birthday month, but how about if we start by the spring and it's picking up, it's heated up, it's transforming even, and Spirit's saying it's happening now. I think they put themselves through a test. I think they're saying very soon, happening now. Sometimes when we're with somebody and we're intimate with them, we want to make sure that are we intimate with them and there's feelings involved, or are we just intimate with them? So I feel like there was a little bit of space so that I could see if there's feelings. So I can see that there's more going on here. But hopefully the space isn't long enough that you're so upset with them that you say, you know, you can't just come and go. Like, that's not going to work either. So you better figure this out. All right, let's see what they have for some loving messages. I don't feel like it's that cut and dry just yet. Spirit, a little bit complicated here in the beginning. You're so beautiful inside and out. So I do see that in you. My loneliness is killing me when you're not around. So maybe they didn't like not seeing you. Maybe they realize that they like you being in their life better than not now. Your smile is making me melt every time I see your face. Without you in my life, I feel lost. Is it one of those situations where I didn't realize what I had until you weren't there? Probably. I would like to give this another chance. You could say, I'm really upset I haven't heard from you for a while. Maybe, you know, weeks have passed, a month has passed, and they didn't really give you a reason to not communicate with you. So that's a whole nother situation. But it depends on what you're feeling. What did they say? First of all, they said you're both feeling the same way, kind of anxious and not really knowing. And then it was a feeling of this inner compass, that when you hear their voice and you hear what they have to say, I feel like your inner compass, your natural intuition, will give you the direction to go next. Okay, so trust that is how it's coming in. I crave to be close by your side. It could be a great connection. It's just a little turbulent in the beginning. It just doesn't get off to the best start that I would have wanted. It doesn't get off to a perfect start. Let's say it that way. Doesn't mean it's not going to be perfect. Doesn't mean that we're not meant to be together. It just means that there's some kind of, we're unsure of each other in the beginning. And I think that happens to a lot of people. I do feel like this is going to have a second chance. I do feel like where do we go from here was something honest, and it was, well, what do you want? What do I want? And I feel like we find some happy medium that's going to work for us to see. And I'm going to say consistency is probably right up there with the number one thing that we talk about. I can't go 4 or 5 days without hearing from you because I don't know whether I should move on or, know that you're still interested. How would I know? So you can't just drop the ball and leave me hanging. That's the problem. And if you do it again, I'm done, right? So that feels like lesson learned. I'm not going to do that again. I'm in this time, something like that. So let's put this out into the universe and let's see if these feelings have come to the surface. And I'm going to say overall heartfelt feelings are, a conversation with heartfelt feelings is about to happen. And maybe that's all we need, that we both just kind of put it out there with, this is what we both have to have for this to work. So let's ask Spirit for that. I want to thank Spirit for these messages today. I want to thank you for being here. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. If you're interested in a private reading, my website link is in the description below, KathyMamelinPsychicMedium.com. Reminder to check out my other 2 channels. Those links are also in the description. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and we will ask Spirit to guide you now. We'll put this out to the universe, and we'll see you again real soon.